What are these things found in the backyard of a 110-year-old house? They are beside the garage which was added on, and all of them have hanger loops on the sides. I'm thinking they may be tethers for horses back in the day, or cement stops to prevent cars from going into the yard. Any thoughts? Those are concrete practice bombs, probably from World War II. They're missing their metal tail fins, but the overall shape and two hanger loops are pretty distinctive. Looking at the size, I would guess they're a practice version of the M30 100-pound bomb. Concrete was used as a way to make practice bombs that would replicate the flight characteristics of the real thing, while not taking away resources or machine time that was needed to produce other war materials. These bombs, made of asbestos cement, contained a glass flask filled with titanium tetrachloride, which released a smoke cloud upon impact for visual reference. They were designed to cause minimal damage and debris to aircraft and targets, making them safe for practice bombing. What are these three double-spouted kettles with lids found in the North Woods of Minnesota? Approximately 14 inches tall, pretty rusted, it looks very old, with no maker's mark visible. What were they used for? This is a very primitive oil lamp, used outdoors on oil rigs and usually called a yellow dog because of two burning wicks that resembled a dog's glowing eyes at night. It was officially patented a decade after the Civil War by Jonathan Dillon and became an oil field icon. Each spout carried a large diameter rope wick that extended down inside the body of the lamp into the oil, so the wicks can bring up all the oil. The spouts go up above the lid, so the lid can be opened even while it's lit. That was part of the safety aspect. You can top them up while they are still lit. You can control brightness without fragile complex parts, just snuff one out, then the brightness halved. What is this tool found amongst vintage tools? It's made of steel with a copper cylinder. The copper and the square bit can move up and down the rectangular rod. Ignore the black line where the steel changes color. That's from my de-rusting solution. Any hints as to what purpose this tool might have served are very much appreciated. It's a plow gauge, a handheld strap-cutting tool used for leatherwork. By using a pushing motion, the user can accurately cut straps and belts. The main advantage of this tool is that it will cut belts and straps that are wider than 10 centimeters, or 4 inches. It is also suitable for cutting any thickness of leather because of the position of the blade. Its origins are from Europe and date back to around the late 1890s to 1920s, and were used mostly by saddlers who worked with thicker leather. What is this thing I found in an elevator shaft in an old hotel in Ireland? It's in pretty bad shape, and I've no idea how long it's been there or if the current hotel owners even know about it. Are these worth anything? Thanks for any info. What you've got is a national cash register from around the 1910s. I restore these cash registers as a hobby. They're worth a couple $100 in that condition, mostly because they can still be restored despite how bad it looks. A fully restored register like that one generally sells for between $700 to $900, depending on how well they're cleaned up. In all honesty, the brass is dirty, but it looks like it's in great condition. Something you can do is pull the drawer completely out. There's a release rod in the back of the paper bill compartment, and flip it over. Oftentimes, the receipt is still pasted to the underside, since this was a standard NCR practice. It will tell you the date it was purchased as well as the business or person who paid for it. It's a great bit of history. What is this tool my dad found at a yard sale? The body measures approximately 8.5 inches long and 13.5 inches long, including the crank handles. There are no markings on it except for a scale. Any help would be appreciated. It's a Blue Point abrasive disc trimmer, which trims or shapes abrasive discs that are used for cutting, grinding, or polishing materials. It was made by Snap-on Tools Corporation in Kenosha, Wisconsin. I don't know the age, but I would guess the 1940s. What is this hollow weathered metal cylindrical object with a pump handle found on the riverbank in Washington state? It's about a foot long, with a coppery finish. Any ideas? It's an old firegun fire extinguisher, made by the American LaFrance Fomite Corporation of Elmira, New York. I'm not certain as to the date of manufacture, but I believe it to be somewhere between 1928 and 1940. The Fomite Childs Corporation merged with the American LaFrance Corporation in 1928, so it is definitely post-1928. This is a pump-activated 1-quart size extinguisher made of solid brass. What is this weird-looking thingy found in a box on my grandpa's dinner table, north in Scandinavia? It weighs about the same as a controller, maybe a tad bit more. It feels like some ceramic-ish material, and the color is tan and black. I'm guessing it's well over 25 years old. Any guidance would be greatly appreciated. It's a Blue 42 or Blue 54 submunition from a cluster bomb. This was introduced into the US Armed Forces in the early 1970s. It normally has trip lines that deploy from those recesses, so I would assume it's not live. But I still recommend calling local EOD to get it X-rayed to make sure it doesn't contain an explosive hazard. What is this 2-part wooden gauge? Approximately 20 centimeters long, and no obvious points where additional parts are attached. I can't make out the text, but it could be French. It's quite light overall and entirely made of wood as far as I can tell. Any hints as to what purpose this contraption might have served are very much appreciated. It's a delta ruler from the early 20th century. Here's the label, and an advertisement showing the tool. It's a jig to help align binding strips for mounting photos or artwork to glass. What is this old tool about 6.5 inches long with a wooden handle? It says Schulson on top, but I can't find anything that looks remotely like this. It belonged to a furrier, so I think it's a furrier tool, but no idea what it is and what it does. There are 4 small wheels on top, so I'm guessing it's meant to move around in use. Any ideas? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.